Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
We quite regularly have a chat to the Cancer Society because we really love them. Andy, a very good morning to you.
Good, John. Good morning.
You come complete with someone that we are quite privileged to talk to this morning.
Absolutely. I'd just like to introduce our listeners to the top guy, our Chief Executive, Michael Smith. This is the man that's had our back in the Kapiti community for many years. He's the guy who got it across the line with the board for our new community house, and so it's a privilege to bring him out here to talk to us today about our new community centre in Kapiti. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Michael Smith, our Chief Executive.
Crikey, Mike, I feel as if I need a drum roll after that.
Kia ora, it's good to be here. Thank you for that introduction, Mandy. It was very special.
Well, she's very special as well, Mike. I do hope that you, in the performance review, you take that into consideration. Mike, this seems to be a pretty major undertaking, moving into 27 Kapiti Road. Why did you decide to make that move?
Well, look, the demand for our services is the real reason, John, that we needed a bigger premises. Many of your listeners will know that we've been at Kapiti Lights for a few years in a smallish office there, and it really just wasn't big enough to provide the services that we'd like to provide to the local Kapiti community. So we were looking around for a bigger premises, and 27 Kapiti Road came on the market middle of the year, and as Mandy said, I was able to convince our Cancer Society board to commit some funding to that.
Quite a commitment.
Yeah, a big commitment. We've invested about $550,000 into the project. We've used some of our reserves and taken a loan from ANZ, but we've got to raise money now to pay both the reserves and the loan back.
Mike, when you came in, I said, how's the battle? And I'm genuinely interested in that because it seems that cancer is affecting almost every family, every whānau. And just how is the battle going with cancer in this country? Well,
look, cancer does affect every family in some way, either directly or indirectly. I think we've all got personal stories in our own families, and up on the Kapiti coast, we've got an ageing population, and so as you get older, the chances of getting a cancer diagnosis go up with age as well. So look, the battle. There are lots of amazing things happening in the cancer world in terms of treatments. Cancer is not necessarily a death sentence. The treatments are getting better all the time, both in terms of chemotherapy, radiation therapy and surgery. But we're there to help people cope with that really difficult time in their lives.
You mentioned the fact about the increase in the older population. Is it a case in years gone by that people were dying of other causes before cancer would manifest itself? And what we're seeing really is kind of a natural consequence of people living longer.
Well, I think that's right. If I think back to my grandparents, a couple of them died of heart disease. Now, if they were living today, probably the heart disease would have been dealt with, yeah, and they would have got through that. And I think that is a reason why cancer is becoming more prominent. People are surviving other illnesses, but cancer pops up later in life, and so that's a factor in the demand that we're seeing out there.
And I think this is something that older people should take into consideration, because they may have assumed that because their parents died of other causes, that it's not an issue in their particular whānau, and therefore they should go and get themselves checked, because the sooner it's detected, the better your chances.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we're working on all the time is encouraging people to have regular checkups, to see their doctors, even if they feel well, to have a regular checkup, and make sure that their health is okay. And what I do personally is every year around my birth date, I go and get a full physical with my GP. Even if I'm feeling well, I get that done.
And you're a bloke.
I'm a bloke, and
we're not good at this, are we?
No, we're not. And it is a problem that we're trying to tackle. We're encouraging blokes to get to the doctor early. We do tend to sit on our problems. We sometimes have this attitude of she'll be right, and that's really not the best thing to do. You know, see your doctor regularly, get checked, and your outcomes will be a lot better.
Well, Mike, I can see our minder is getting a little bit twitchy. We better get back onto script and talk about the centre, 27 Kapiti Road. What exactly is on offer there?
Well, look, 27 Kapiti Road will enable us to have more space to provide services for people in the Kapiti area. So we will be having Mandy, who you've just heard from, continuing on with her health promotion work, and she works closely with community groups, with schools, right across the Kapiti area, encouraging people to look after their health, to do things that will reduce their risk of cancer. We will also have our counsellor based there. Some of you would have already met Judy O'Byrne, who's our resident counsellor. Now, the great thing about 27 Kapiti Road is we've now got space for a private counselling room that we didn't have in the Kapiti Lights. So people can come to us, feel quite confident that they'll be able to have a confidential private counselling session, all free of charge, on our site. So that's very exciting. And then also in the new year, we will be employing a part-time support and information nurse to provide information to people or their whānau about the cancer they're going through. Instead of having to either ring our 0800 number or go into Wellington to meet my staff there, they'll have someone on site that they can chat to and find out more about. And for free, that's right, Mandy, yes. All our services are free. Many of your listeners will realise that we don't get any government funding, so we have to raise enough money from the community to offer those services for free, but we do make services free to everybody, no matter their circumstances.
And bless you for that. What about your volunteers? Have you got a nice little place for them to have?
Well, that's the other great thing. It enables us to provide a hub for our volunteers to meet and help us in our work. I mean, we have lots of volunteers that help in the office, but we have a big team of volunteers that drive patients to hospital appointments, either in Porirua or into Wellington City or into the hut for oncology appointments. So 27 Kapiti Road will enable us to coordinate that all from the one spot. And it'll be a place that volunteers can meet and come together as well.
And maybe even having a Christmas tart or two, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Nice little social occasion to recognise their efforts. Well, you've already said that the government doesn't directly support you, and that's a conversation perhaps we should have at another place. But that being the case, how did you pay for this?
Well, look, as I mentioned earlier, we've managed to take some money out of our reserves and also borrowed some money from the bank. But that's really just a temporary fix. I've agreed to fundraise from the community to pay back that $550,000, and already people are responding in very generous ways, both in terms of dollars and in kind. For example, local businesses have donated goods and services, including a new bathrooms, insulation, building materials, paint, and labour. I mean, the local men's shed here in Kapiti Coast have been a godsend. They have given so much time, hundreds of hours of skilled labour to bring the property up to standards. So that's been a fantastic community led initiative. But we are also asking people to donate money to us, and we're approaching local businesses and individuals that might like to support the project, and they can do that in many ways. They can go to a special website that we've created called yourkapitihome.nz, and that will give our listeners information about what the Kapiti Support Centre will provide and just how they can support the project.
Neat community, this one, isn't it?
Oh, it's a fantastic community, and I think we're very lucky to have people that are so generous with their time and their donations. So, yeah, big thank you to Kapiti for all that you're doing for us.
So, OK, that website is Your Kapiti Home, all lowercase, all one word, yourkapitihome.nz, and details there about how further we can help the Cancer Society. Mike, it's been great having you in the studio. Thank you very much. I do hope you're not told off too much as we leave there, because we left the script just a wee bit, but it's been a great delight. Lovely to meet you. Thank you very much for all the work that you and the Society do.
Thank you.
106.3 Beach FM.